Like the video and subscribe to our channel right now and get 1 week of amazing luck. Anyone can experience financial hardship, and when people are left with no choice but to sleep on the streets, a little food or cash can go a long way toward assisting them in getting back on their feet. These poor people aren't always as poor as they appear, though. On occasion, fake beggars roam the streets, pretending to have illnesses and wounds in order to solicit donations from sympathetic bystanders. Today we're going to look at a group of con artists who opted to cheat and lie their way to a fast profit, as we expose the worst fake disabled beggars ever caught. Number 12. Lazy beggars. This next beggar didn't bother with a custom outfit, carrying out a one-armed scam that was a bit less elaborate. I feel like that guy could have put a bit more effort into his act. A slightly better costume might have made it so that as he approached cars and asked for change, it wasn't so easy for a passerby to run over and lift his loose-fitting shirt, showing that his missing arm was lazily tucked into his pants. Number 11. Low-speed chase. The video that follows, from one police bus to the next, shows the moment a beggar in Bogotá, Colombia, had his scam exposed when he was approached by two motorcycle police.
No subes del andén, que solo. No subes del andén, quita, no importa. ¿Y la ropa dónde está?
Ah, ¿no ves que me la robaron ustedes mismos? Me la llevaron y la botaron. ¿Y qué? ¿Le estoy robando algo a usted? ¿Le estoy robando algo a usted? Ay, ese sapo. Es lo que me tienen que decir es ellos. Usted no tiene que decir nada, pero... Ya, es la grosería. Un sapo metido. Es la grosería, hermano. No le importa nada.
Es al mocho, ahora le sale la otra pierna.
Pero no le importa nada. Mire.
Imagine being caught with your trousers down. According to reports, the police officers were aware of this fraud man from a prior arrest and understood as they drew near that he was fabricating a disability. The beggar yelled, "I'm going to be naked," in response to their demand that the con artist show them his wound. Eventually, the beggar gave up, yanked down his pants, stood up, and ran away in his boxers. Number 10. Liar lying down. Let's take it one leg further, checking out a fake disabled beggar that's totally legless. No, I said legless, not Legolas. Check it. Unlike his elven counterpart, this double amputee doesn't slide on shields. He rolls around on a trolley, pulling himself around as he begs for money in Luzhou, China. Unfortunately for the beggar, he was recognized by a pedestrian that had previously stood next to him on the bus that morning. The passerby had watched the supposed amputee walk on and off the bus with two perfectly healthy legs, so seeing him on the ground like this raised a few alarm bells, to say the least. Seeing through the scammer's trick, the passerby decided to expose the beggar, pulling down his pants to reveal his legs tied up behind his body. To be fair to the scam artist, he is a method actor. He still rolls away on his trolley, even after being exposed to the world. Now that's a commitment to a role. Number 9. South African beggar. Next, we have a South African beggar who chose to utilize crutches as stage props as he made his way around Cape Town streets.
Hamba kahle ke ngoku, hamba kahle. Ubukade uyephi na? Oh.
The fraud guy was caught in the act as he stumbled between lines of moving vehicles and begged the drivers for change. He was only beginning his performance when he noticed a truck driver photographing him and immediately recognized the scam. The beggar finally gave up the charade at this point, removing his crutches and standing up naturally. He began smiling and shaking his cup as he walked up to the vehicle and asked the driver for money. Unexpectedly, the truck driver complied, placing a $20 in the beggar's cup and directing him to leave. Even if you're being honest about being dishonest, I think a little bit of honesty goes a long way. Number 8. Caught by police. When this teen asked a few passing police officers for some change, he experienced the outcome. This young boy was pleading for money, but the policemen, who were obviously experienced with such stunts and knowledgeable on how to recognize fraud, had other plans. After spotting the trick, they pulled the lad to his feet. The men forced the adolescent to stand up, exposing his swindle as he moves from pleading for money to pleading to be left alone and begs for forgiveness. Naturally, it goes without saying that you shouldn't force a beggar to get up if you think they're a fake, just in case they're actually disabled. But in this case, the kid's fraudulent farce was indeed exposed, by the police no less. Number 7. Son-father combo. Usually, these fake beggars have up till now been one-man performances, but the next con decided to enlist a tiny young collaborator to aid him with his scheme. Family businesses are the best kind of business, and unlike the South African beggar, this father uses his son as a pawn to support his scheme. I'm sure the kid's bandaged hand brought in a ton of cash for the couple, but eventually, someone caught on and asked the father to take off the kid's bandage to show that he had indeed had an injury. Without the tenderness you might anticipate for a serious injury, the father removed his son's bandage to show that his son's hand was in perfect condition and was fully functional. A healthy, unharmed infant is a fantastic thing, but in this case, the angry crowd encircling the panhandler forced the obviously guilty couple to walk away and flee. Number 6. Unwrapping the Scam. This seemingly one-legged beggar was sitting on the floor, begging for change, when he was called out by an angry mob. The beggar protested, but the mob wouldn't let him leave and forced him to reveal the scam. The beggar was now compelled to play a lone game of passing the parcel while slowly exposing his con. It became out that his leg was bound beneath his body by straps, 3 pairs of trousers, and a few tense articles of clothing. His thin leg was practically unnoticeable due to the binding's extreme tightness, and the trick was only discovered after he peeled off the top covering. Despite getting caught, the lengths that this beggar went to achieve his scam is almost impressive. Number 5. Contortionist. Unlike the beggar in that commercial, most real scammers never expose their tricks to the public. However, in 2015 Bangladeshi beggar Sajjan Raju decided to capitalize on the publicity and attention that fake beggar scams garner by showing off his tricks on TV. Sajjan puts the con in a contortionist, twisting his body to convince pedestrians that he suffers from a disability. If Sajjan wanted to, I'm sure he could get a job in the circus, seeing as that level of sustained contortion is actually pretty impressive. Sajjan claims that he earns around $500 a month from panhandling, and that's around 4 times the average monthly salary in Bangladesh. For most people, begging on the streets feels like a last resort. But with that salary, Sajan's scam somehow actually beats working a 9 to 5. Indeed, it's rumored that some of these fraudsters actually earn far more money than they could at a regular job, depending on where they're based, so they opt to beg on the streets for very real financial gain. Number 4. Family beggar. The subsequent beggar goes even further by hiring his wife and 4 children to advance his scam. This video depicts a Pakistani family enjoying a day out, with the father shuffle walking down the street as his family closely trails after. The patriarch walks through the area where he typically does his begging, and he seems to be in really poor shape. But as soon as he enters an alleyway and takes his place, his expression completely changes. The father swiftly changes out of his beggarly outfits while his kids huddle around him, leaps to his feet, and walks away, allowing the family to flee the grisly scene. The family probably believed they had gotten off easy. But evidently, someone recorded the entire incident, and the shocking video sparked an angry reaction on social media and major news websites. Number 3. What the tuck? Check out how a con artist is able to make a living by sitting on the sidewalk. This gentleman seems to be an amputee who has no alternative but to sit on the sidewalk and beg money from passers-by as they pass. However, appearances can be misleading, so perhaps the man is not as hopeless as he first appears to be.
Nasa isang paa mo? Ha? Nasa isang paa mo? Nasa isang paa mo? Nasa isang paa mo? Pakita mo, tayo ka nga.
It is miraculous. The ability of an angry bystander to heal is beautifully captured in this video. The beggar suddenly revives his lost leg, or, more precisely, reveals that his amputated limb was deftly tucked into his sports shorts in response to the pedestrian's loud allegations of fraud. I'm not sure what tragedies caused the man to beg on the streets, but I believe a career as a street magician may be very profitable for him. He simply created the leg out of thin air. Number 2. A child prodigy. The kid after that made the decision to do it and perform all of his begging alone. This youngster is an expert at pulling off a convincing con at such a young age. Unfortunately for him, despite the fact that his play is quite convincing, a passing soldier saw right through his ruse and picked the child up to reveal his healthy legs. The young boy had all of his limbs, but since he was unable to stand, he was obliged to stand to attention and pout as the soldier left. Number 1. Accidentally exposed. While some fake beggars get exposed by passers-by with the intent on revealing their scam, this next fellow was just a bit unlucky, as a woman exposed his scam by accident. That guy got exposed in every sense of the word, as the woman's misstep revealed his scam and his underwear. That said, to be honest, that video feels a little too good to be true, and the fact that someone conveniently happened to be filming this supposed accident suggests there's a good chance that it's staged. The video might be as fake as that beggar's disability, but either way, the video does show that these bogus beggars are so common in some countries.